Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Kanisha. I am back with another video. This time it's about some things that I wish I knew before I started university. So I did a 4-year degree, recently kind of finished it. Still have to do so I'm not finished, but I've left university because of the lockdown. And unfortunately, ain't no graduation ceremony waiting for me at the moment. But hopefully around Christmas time that'll happen. But there are a few things that I kind of wish I knew before I started university, or at least in the earlier years of being at university. So take a pen and paper, note down if you need this, or maybe you can apply this generally in life. The first thing that I wish I knew before I went to university and during university is that you're going to meet so many different people for different reasons and for different seasons. So the reason I say that is that freshers time, so when you first get to university and you have that week to 2 week period of settling in, meeting new people, meeting your flatmates, meeting your course mates, you're going to meet so many different people from so many different places, and most of them will be, hopefully friends for a while. Some maybe just friends for the freshers time. I was lucky that the friends that I made in Freshers Week, so my closest friends at university that I made in my Freshers Week, I'm friends with them up until now and probably into the future. So, but there are definitely other people that I met that I probably only spoke to that first month being at university, and then we just drifted ways, not out of malice, but just purely because our lives were sort of taking us into different places. So from that I learned that people will come for a reason or a season, so the season being Freshers Week, but also a reason can be even your uni modules. Certain modules bring you closer to certain people or connect you with new people that you wouldn't have met outside of the module, and it's okay that the friendship happens to last for the duration of that module. Same goes to some friendships that last for the duration of uni, and then after that it changes, life happens differently for both people and you just drift apart naturally. So knowing that gives you more comfort in that you make the most of that relationship at the time that it's happening, and you can appreciate it, and when it's time for it to end, it will end as naturally as possible. Second thing that I wish I knew during the time that I was at uni is that you're not going to enjoy every single module, but there's going to be a few things that you can take away from them. So I remember my first year at university, because my degree course is about catching people out that may not study business as an A-level or BTEC studies. It meant that a lot of things that they covered I'd already learnt during my A-levels. So I didn't really enjoy my modules that much because I didn't feel like I was learning anything new. And I kind of actually, around March time, I didn't want to drop out, but my parents convinced me to stay. And that was just purely because I wasn't enjoying the modules. I didn't think I was getting anything out of it. But looking back, I really benefited from using it as a time to figure out if there was an area that I wanted to specialise more into. So for me, that meant I was more interested in the marketing side, and I realised that, so it kind of influenced the modules I selected for my second year. So there's definitely something I gained out of that. And also, rather than using it as a time to pick up new content from the modules, I focus more on adjusting to being at university, getting used to the assignment structure and the things that I had to take away from that. So there's still something that I learned, but I didn't really enjoy a lot of the modules then, but that's okay. It happens. You still got other years where you're going to select modules that are more to your liking. The other thing that I say that I kind of wish I knew before going is that it's okay to go at your own pace, even if that pace is slower than you expected or slower than other people. You're going into a new chapter in your life where everything's brand new. You're moving away from home for the first time. You're surrounding people that you don't really know. You're experiencing things you've not really done. So for some people, that's like going out, drinking. It's trying to figure out where you fit in or what you're interested in. So a lot of experiences you have may feel like it's going at a slower pace than other people, but it's okay because it leads you to your place that you're meant to be. And I definitely find comparison is like, what's the saying? Comparison is a thief of joy. I think that's the saying. And it's really the case when it comes to comparing your pace and where other people are. So where you can just go at your own pace, respect that, and no, you're still going to get to the finish line when you get there. And it makes me think of, you know, you ever get it when you're in the car and somebody is just racing ahead of you for no particular reason, but you both still stop at the same red light? Think of it that way. So you're going through your own paces in life, you're still going to come to the same destination, the same, you know, conclusion. So there is no harm in going at a pace that is more suited to yourself. The next thing that I wish I knew is that you're going to experience the highest of highs and the lowest of lows during your time at university. Oh my gosh, there's so many changes you go through as a person. You're figuring yourself out, you're learning what you like, what you don't like, you're going through relationships, you're going through different friendships, like all of that, and even like home life, being away from home, just means that you're just going to experience highs and lows and loneliness and just feelings that you're not familiar with and you sometimes don't know how to cope with. But it's okay, and figuring out what is a coping mechanism for you will be one of the biggest takeaways from being at university. So I learned for myself, my biggest coping mechanism is to actually speak to people, so whether it's my friends, family, sort of putting into words outside of my own head what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, helped me to actually understand what it is. Because what it's in my head, it's so much bigger than what it is. And just by speaking to other people, it really just rationalizes it and puts it into perspective. So these highs, these lows are just ways of figuring out what is your way of coping through things, and knowing that, you know, there is the other side to your experiences. But when you need to reach out to people, because your mental health is probably the most important thing to you, and taking care of that at university is so important. So speaking to people, getting the right services, that can really make such a world of difference, because university is so hard. Point blank period. Like, yeah, but it's so fun at the same time. So it's quite like you have to process it and you have to find what works for you. The next thing that I would say is to get involved. Join a society, join a sports club, get a job on campus, get a job off campus, do things that are just beyond your degree and beyond just, you know, also hanging out with your friends. Like these experiences that you do, so whether it's being a student ambassador, whether it's working for the student union, being part of football, being part of netball, being part of a society that's related to your degree, all of this experience are things that you can write down on your CV, things that can build your skills and knowledge, and also friends. Like you meet so many more people by getting involved in these groups and societies. And if you do have an opportunity in your later years to actually be on the committee, so whether that's president, vice president, secretary, social media, any of those roles, do it. I had probably one of the best experiences from being part of Women in Business Society and having a committee role, and I learned so much more responsibility, got skills that I know that I can apply in interviews, in a job, and so I got so much more out of it. And also, you know, you can have socials where you can go out clubbing, you can go have fun, even non-alcoholic socials. Like these are the things that can help make your uni experience and give you more things to have fun with. So get involved. Just get involved. I don't think you'll regret it. I just probably regret not getting involved sooner than I did. The other thing I'd say is, like the age-old proverb, this too shall pass. It's the same thing about university. I did not expect 4 years to go by so quickly as it did, and I didn't expect my last year to go as quickly as it did as well. Like, the fact that I finished university basically in March rather than June goes to say just how quickly things can change and things can pass. So having that knowledge of knowing that this too shall pass, this university time chapter in your life is going to go past, just forces you to live more in the moment and to make the most of it and use it as a chance to push yourself to get the most out of it, so that you maximize an opportunity that you get. Another thing that I'll say is, going to university means that for a lot of people you're experiencing financial independence for the first time. So managing your money and trying to find a way to make sure whatever your budget is stretches to the time you need it to stretch is so important, but you're going to make mistakes. I remember, I think semester 1 and 2, my money finished a lot earlier than I expected, And it wasn't from like going crazy with shopping or spending all on nights out. It was just little things that added up. Like I wasn't as smart with my weekly food shopping. I probably used to buy too much or shop into places that were just a bit too pricey, like going for Tesco rather than going to Lidl or Aldi, or even getting meal deals regularly. So if you think about it, £3 meal deal times by 5 days a week, already you're spending £15. So making monetary choices like that just went through my budget so quickly. And I'd say in my last year, using platforms like Monzo so that you can like transfer your money on a weekly basis into that other account helped a lot, because then I knew that was the money that I had for that time to spend versus what is actually like student finance money that's meant to go for the long period of time. So seeing money in different accounts just helped me know what is for now and what is for later. So I definitely think that helps me with managing my money. But also just finding things that are more cost effective helps a lot. So knowing already that you're going to spend a lot on your accommodation, you're going to spend a lot on your transport, those are things that you can't really control. The things that you can control, you just find cheap alternatives or maybe don't do as frequently. And that might help you to stretch your budget and make money last, because boy, it can go quickly if you're not careful. The last thing that I'd say as an advice that I wish I knew before I started university is that everything adds up. All the things that you experience at university adds up into shaping you into the person that you are. So don't think that any experience is too little. Don't think that even having a small job that was for 1 week or working in retail won't help you with your degree, or it won't help you with career prospects. All of it adds up. It just depends how you frame it within your CV. So definitely just grab opportunities where you can, whether it's competitions, whether it's insight days at companies or networking events organised by university, or reaching out to your employability team to see what things you could do to improve it, definitely helps you a lot. So it's never too early to start looking into those things, but it's also reassuring to know that the experiences that you're doing, it contributes. It really does contribute. So yeah, don't feel bad if you're not doing something directly related to your career path at the moment. It will add to it. So that's my advice. Things that I kind of wish I knew before going to uni, but I think having spoken about things I said, I definitely think it applies to even your career and personal life, and things I'm definitely going to keep in mind as I step into this next chapter in my life. But I hope what I've said so far has been kind of useful or helpful. Share below if there's anything you wish you kind of knew before going to university, or kind of learning right now that you want someone else to know, to see what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed.